Welcome to IIB Utham Monitoring Solution provided by Y2. There are several commercial monitoring solutions already available in the market to monitor IBM integration bus. All those commercial products are either very costly or will ask you to have additional softwares to be installed so that you can monitor your message flows. But IIB Utham is not going to ask you any additional software to have your message flows monitored. It is a very simple but powerful solution, and this solution is going to run in your integration node. We don't need any kind of additional web server. We don't need any Kibana. We don't need any Elasticsearch. We don't need any kind of DB2 or Oracle to have the events or logs to be stored. Everything is using what is already exists in IBM integration bus. Now let's see how the IIB Utham, the dashboard will look like. IIB Utham has two dashboards though. The first dashboard monitors your IIB resources automatically for every 1 minute, and it shows all the details that you need. For example, the alarm logs if any message flow is errored out, any kind of exception, any kind of errors that is generated by your log messages, that is monitored first. And any queues is having messages which is not processed. And how do you monitor the queue depths? That is monitored here automatically for every 1 minute. And any message flow which is having the activity log, the activity is searched and automatically it finds out any message flow is having any erroneous activity, and then syslogs. This is the one which we frequently look for any kind of issues. So that is also monitored. Not only those you can see in the picture, it also monitors any flows are stopped, any code dump or abandoned files are generated, and the JVM memory, how much memory currently the integration node is using, and how much disk space you have. Everything is monitored automatically for every 1 minute. This is the dashboard that you have. On the left side, you can see all the menu options which are available. It has whatever you need, and this product is developed from our 12 years of experience that we are working on integration bus. This is completely written in integration project, and it runs on any browser, and it runs on any screen as well, because the HTML code that is dynamically getting generated is HTML5 compatible, so it will work on any screen, whether you look on desktop, iPhone, iPad, whatever be the screen, it works. You no need of any swing application, you no need to install anything to get it done. So that's the greatest advantages of having the IIB Utham. Let's go in detail about each menu and see how this is working and how beneficial for you. So in the home menu, as I said, there are two dashboards. The first dashboard is what you are seeing now. The second dashboard is to see, is there any kind of exceptions? So it only monitors for the alarm logs, any kind of exception that you have. So that is shown here, and here you can see that any time, what's the time of failure, which flow it is, what kind of exception, error code, and you want to see the error message, what's the error message this is. So you can see, hey, there is some null pointer exception happened, and you want to see the audit log messages. You just need to click the download button. Automatically the log messages are available to you. So what's the advantages of having this download option? First thing is, we no need to log into any dev QA production systems. What we generally do, we use WinSAP, log into that particular server and get it. Or if it is stored in a database, you log into the database, issue some SQL commands, and then you get the messages, right? So now you can understand how simple it is. You just need to go to the dashboard and see how many messages are failed and why it failed, when it was failed. Also you can see how pleasing the graphical user interface that you see here. So it says completely how many exceptions, exception count, what's the time of exception, and what are all the flows it failed, right? So this is making the life very easy for whoever is supporting the production systems. So now if you click the search options, you have multiple options here. Why we have extensively given the search options? Say you have 500 plus message flows running on your production systems. How do you immediately identify a message flow based on a queue name, or based on a DSN name, based on a flow name, based on a file name, based on a directory name, or based on a queue name? All these options, how you can search, right? I know that these are already available in the IBM provided web UI, but those web UI doesn't have any kind of search options. Now let's take a scenario. You have multiple message flows, and those are all using MQs. One of the queue that you see that is having 100 plus messages, and the number is getting increased. You don't know which message flow is supposed to pick up. How can you fix it? How can you find which message flow is supposed to process? You know the queue name, but you don't know which flow is supposed to process. And we cannot open every document, we cannot open every source code to identify which message flow it is. What you can do is simply click the search option, click message flow. Here you see all the options here. So you can search by a message flow or queue name, URL, directory name, file name, DSN, UDP. You can try by any one of these options. And the flow name and the queue name are automatically getting popped up. You just need to start typing here, so it lists out all the message flows that you have. You no need to remember the flow name and queue name. Just start typing, automatically it will give you the list of message flows that you already have. Just click submit if you know that this is the flow name and you want to see the flow details. Or you can use the queue name. Hey, this is the queue name I use. Can you show me which message flow is using this queue? Just click submit. So now behind the scene what happens is, It searches all the message flows and looks for this particular queue name is exist or not. So here you see that okay, these are all the message flows which are using the queue in.queue. And you can see here, right, what's the flow, what's the application name, which integration server it is using, and what is the status, whether it is running or it is in a stopped status. Again, you can see here that okay, you want to see the audit logs, you want to see any kind of activity log. Okay, so I want to see some activity. What is the activity of this flow? Okay, so currently there is no activity because the flow is in stopped status. So this is very useful because if the application team says that they have sent some messages and you see that the message is still sitting in the directory or in a queue, you wonder why this is not processed. So what you do, you immediately open Web UI. In Web UI, you need to navigate to find out which message flow it is and why and what's the status of that. Otherwise, you need to issue multiple MQSA commands to know whether the flow is running or not. But by using IIB Utham, it is very simple. Just go here, whatever the message flow name that you remember, just start typing in, automatically it pops up. Select the message flow name, click submit, and it gives you the result, what is exactly happening. Not only that, you can also see here that what's the bar file it is used, what's the protocol it is using. No solution gives you this apart from IIB Utham. This is the only product without opening the message flow, without having any kind of documentation, you immediately get what is the input protocol. So this is using one MQ, and also this is using another node which is a custom written user defined node. Have you seen what's the message format it is showing? Yes, it gets that detail as well, and you can see how many output protocols. So this one particular message flow gets the message from MQ and another input node which is a user defined node, and the message type is blob message, and output you can see that it is sending the message to multiple destinations like file, MQ and email, and this is of type library. Now let's see another message flow and see how the activity looks like. Let's select one of a running message flow. This is a running message flow. Let's see how different it is from a stopped flow. So here you can see how when was a message received and when was it is completed. That's the first chart that you see. And next chart, so this chart is showing how much time it took to complete a request. So all the time that you see here is in seconds. So here you will see the complete history of the activity log. So here you see what's the time, which node it is actually processing, whether any error is there or not, and the source details. This is exclusively available only in IIB Utham. There is no commercial product available which is showing the activity log. The advantage of having an activity log is we can see what is happening in a message flow in detail. Instead of having a log file which shows only when there is a message is reached to the integration node. But this activity log shows you how long a message flow is waiting for a message, and once a message is received, how much time it took to complete the processing. So all this information are available in detail with multiple graphs in IIB Utham. And next is configurable service. Yeah, we know that when we have multiple configurable services, we want to know the details about the configurable service. Like we want to see what's the name of the configurable service, which type it is, what kind of configuration is already having, and why some of the configurable service is not working. So what's the option you have? You have the option is you have to go to the web UI and look for the configurable service. But here you just need to start typing in whatever the name that you know. Just give the name. If you know the name, you can give it, otherwise you just click submit. Now this will show you all the JDBC provided configurable service that you have configured. See how simple it is to get from a browser. We are not logging to any remote machine. We are not using web UI. We don't use message broker explorer. We simply using one tool to get everything available in our integration node. Okay, the last option in search category is directory searching. We have seen in our past experiences that whenever we need to look for a particular word to be searched in a file, we use grep command. We thought like, why don't we have the same option available in IIB Utham so that I can search from any directory without logging. I don't use any grep command. I don't use WinSCP to download the file into my local machine and then open it in some software and then issue some find command and see whether the particular text is available or not. Now let's see how simple it is here. All you need to do is just give what is this, what's the search text you want to search. Okay, this is the one I want to search. So now click submit. So the search query is available in 5 files. You can see how many times the particular search text is available in this file. And this search capability is available for multiple file types. It's not only for any text file. It searches a CSV file, a JSON file, an XML file, also a gzip file. You can see here what's the file name, file type, what's the size, last modified, permission. So this permission is available for non-Windows machines. And also you can see what's the directory structure. You want to download the file, you can download it to your machine as well. So it is very simple and very handy. Whenever someone says, hey, I have sent you some messages and this is the order number that I have processed, can you please let me know whether you have received those order numbers or not. So what you do, you just need to go your log folder and issue some grep commands and see it is there or not. So instead of that, you can come here and use the directory option. So you can give your audit folder here, give the order number, click submit. Immediately you get the result of how many times that order number is repeating and where it is and when was the file received. The third option that you see here is business monitoring. So this we have made it like a very simple option so that some of the guys don't use any kind of subflows or log4j nodes. They prefer to going with the monitoring options already available in the integration bus. So the IIB Utham also supports the built-in monitoring that you have. So whatever the option that is available for searching an audit log, it's the same option that you have for built-in monitoring as well. So here also you can say, hey, this is the flow name, can you show me the log messages? And if you don't know the flow name and you know only the queue name, you can try the queue name options, whatever the one that you know, you can just try that as well. And one thing I wanted to let you know that if you give the queue name, what happens behind the scene is it looks for every message flow and checks the queue name. By this, the advantages is when it is finding the same queue name is used by multiple message flows, you get a consolidated view of all the log messages in one single window. Now let's see how the built-in monitoring is available for this. You have to select the date so that we will not get an issue of timeout, because when there are thousands of files and if we give a long range, automatically it gets timeout. So we recommend that you give a short name, so that short range, so that you get the result. Okay, see, immediately we got the result of the monitoring enabled for the flow test delete. So you can see what's the transaction ID, creation time, event name, event source, the counter, unique flow name, which terminal, whether it has any payload or not. So this IIB Utham monitoring solution works for the built-in monitoring, also the custom node or log4j, whatever the logging solution that you already have, it also works for that. If you think like you need something better what is available existing, or you want to try something else which gives you a complete picture, like I want to see what is the metadata, I want to see what's the message header, payload, local environment, global environment, exception list, transaction time, transaction status. I want to see everything. But these should be completely controllable. It means I don't want all this information every time. I will just say what's the log level. Based on that, can you prepare the log messages? Yes, we have developed a set of custom nodes which does exactly what you want. You can say, I need only payload, I need only metadata and payload, I need only metadata, header and payload. We are getting some strange issues. We want to see completely what is happening. So you can say, I want to see environment, I want to see global environment. Whatever you configure, that's what available in the log messages. By this way, you know completely what is happening in your message flow. You no need to debug. You no need to connect to that remote machine and enable debugger and see what is happening. When multiple team work on one single project, everyone wants to try to put debugger and see what is happening, or you need to use the flow exerciser, which we have seen that when you issue a very big message, you won't see all the information in flow exerciser, and that is also sometimes is not connecting. Using the custom node that we have developed, you can simply connect the terminals, get the result immediately, and it is completely controllable. Either you can control it from your toolkit, or you can say, hey, this is the feature, this is the options that I want to select. Just simply issue the MKSA command so that only those are selected based on the filtering that you have said. The log message is available to you. The next is we are going to see a Utham monitoring. So this is very handy when we do any kind of testing with application team. So application team talks in terms of order number or some quote number or account number, customer number. They have their own primary key or any unique field which says that this is the message that they have sent. When they are sending thousands of messages, how you can identify a particular message? The option is either you need to issue a grub command to find out which message it is, or is there any way that will make it very simple? Because I want to see not only one single field, I want to see what is happening in a message flow, like when an order was created, when the order was submitted, when the order was processed, when the order was denied. Can you show me all this information? I also want to see the time as well. When was a particular action was taken? Is it possible to get it? Yes, that is completely possible. What you need to do is, we have one custom node for that. You just need to connect your node to that custom node and give the ESQL path or Java X path, whatever the node that you use. You can just give this is a path where it has the required information. It captures that information and stores in a physical location, and from that physical location it reads out and shows you, hey, this is the event of action that has taken place in a particular message flow. You can see from the screen that every search option is available. As I said already, you can search by a queue name, URL, directory name, file name, or flow name, whatever you know, whatever you can remember. Let's see what is the business values available for the test delete one. Okay. I think I have mistyped something or some special character, so let me select again the flow name and ensure that there is no any special characters. So now let me click submit. Okay, there are no business elements, so we need to select a different date range and see whether any business elements are created previously. Let's click. Okay, let me select, go back, again give the flow name, change the date range. Let me give a year-old date and see whether any, so yes, so you can see here that this is the event name. So this is just a demo purpose, so we don't have any kind of valid event name, and this is a custom column name that comes automatically. So It takes up the field name that you have given in the custom node, which is exclusively works for this business element capturing. So there, whatever the path that you have given, from the path it automatically takes the column name. So here you can see that there is a search option is available. You can search, you can click on any column name to see the values in ascending and descending order. Also you can see the page number, right? The paging that comes by default, you just need to click. So as I said in the beginning of this demo, this is developed purely on Bootstrap HTML5 compatible code, so it works on any browser. So here you can minimize, you can maximize, you can, if you want to go back or you want to refresh, all these options are available. So no other commercial product has these many features. So now let's come to the statistics option. So the statistics, as you know that the web UI, you can see the statistics. What is the JVM memory, how much parser memory, you can see whether any socket connections, all these you can see in the resource statistics in the web UI. So the same option is available here as well. So here you can say, hey, I want to see the resource statistics of a particular integration server. And then the next option that you see is state change. So this state change we have added here because sometimes we want to know how frequently we are restarting our production system, how frequently a particular message flow is getting redeployed, how frequently I stop an integration server in production system. How we can know that? Is there a way that we can track and identify that, okay, why these many times we are bouncing our integration node? To get that track history, so we have added a menu item called state change. So here you can know how many times you restart your integration node. Okay, so from here you can see that, okay, this many times the integration node is started. And also you can select, okay, how many times you restart your integration server. Okay, this many times you do that. You can also select how many times your message flow is getting restarted or stopped. You can see that, okay, this many times you stop, this many times you started, and which is the flow name and what was the time that you did that. All these are available in some simple few clicks. Now the administration log. So syslog, the syslog is the one immediately we see whenever any kind of issue that we see in our production system. What we do nowadays, we use web UI, or anyone using integration bus version 9, they may use the message broker explorer administration log. I have seen that people get it configured and they see it from Kibana as well. We don't ask you any kind of additional software. We don't ask you to hire some guy who knows Kibana, who knows Elasticsearch, who know how to maintain, how to configure, how to send the events from integration node to Kibana or Elasticsearch or Splunk. We don't ask you that. We just give you one simple solution which is going to run in your integration node, and immediately you are ready with this pleasing GUI. Now let's see how beautifully you see that system log. Okay, see, this system log shows you how many integration server, how many applications, how many library, how many message flows, how many queues that you have in your integration node. Also you can see that, okay, the activity is only one activity, that is information, and If you want to see a detailed timestamp of each information, you can just see here. So it also gives you multiple options. You can select this option. You can see in your bar options, you can see if you want to refresh or you want to go back to the original one, so you can select the options here. You want to show this to someone, just right click this one, click the option save image. Immediately it saves in a PNG format. You can send it to anyone where you want to ask something, hey, why there is a strange issue, or you can say that our production system is cool, there is no issue, see the picture, it has only information. And you want to see some detailed information, yes, you can see here all the information that you want. And as I said, you can filter here by using the search option. You can sort any column, and also you can see here all the page number, paging options are available. You can in detail see what is happening in your production system. Okay, in our production system, we see that there are thousands of messages are there. I don't want to see all those 1000 plus messages. I want to immediately see whether any error or any kind of exception in my production system. I don't want to filter, I don't want to click any column so that I can see only the error. I want to see immediately in one single click. Click this system log error only. It will show you whether any exception is there or not. If it is, you will see, otherwise you will see a greeting message that there are no exceptions, which is very cool, and that is what we need. Okay, so I know that there are multiple message flows which are failing. I want to see a consolidated view of all the messages failed. Can I see that? Yes, it's possible. Just give the date range that you want to see and click submit. Immediately you will be seeing, okay, for today there are no alarm blocks, there are no exceptions for today. Let me go back and select a different range and see any exception in the past has occurred or not. I am selecting a very bold date. Let's see whether any exception. Yes, there are multiple exceptions occurred, and you can see, okay, this is the latest exception that has been occurred. And also you can see, you want to see any kind of error message, just click this show error. It will show you, hey, there are some serializer issue happened with this particular message. And you want to see the message which failed, you can just click this download option. Immediately the message will be downloaded in gzip format. It's not coming the message as it is, because there are some chances that you are triggering some 50 megabytes or 100 megabytes message, and if you try to download from your production system, you know, right, how much time it will take. So we made it like dynamically it compress the message in gzip format, and you get the message in gzip format, not in the actual size. It gives you that you get the message in a compressed, so that it is available to you immediately. Okay, next is the show option that you see now. This show option shows you completely what is available in your production system. You can see what are all the queues that you use, what are all the files you use, what are all the URLs you use, what are all the DSN you use, how many configurable services you have. I want to see all the message flows. I want to see all the applications. I want to see all the libraries. Not only that, I want to see some recently deployed flows. Say you see that last weekend or in your last release you have deployed some message flows. After that you see some strange issues in your production system, and you want to know what are all the recently deployed flows, or you want to take some history of from the past 6 months how many message flows you deployed for some audit purpose. So how can you get it? Okay, so here you can give the date range that okay, these many message flows are deployed from this date range. Okay, so I want to see in detail about this particular message flow because I suspect that this message flow is the one which is causing issue in our production system. I want to see what are the node properties, what are the node connections, what is the last recent activity. So I want to see in detail about a particular message flow. It is simple, just click show more info. You will be presented immediately what is that particular message flow is. That message flow is in stopped status and it is using the input protocol MQ and it accepts XML message and the output is also MQ and the parent is application. In detail, you want to see what is happening. You can go here and see in detail what is happening. Here you see the node connections. Here you see how many nodes are used, and if you scroll down you can see all the node properties. This is very handy when we see that we pass some file names in local environment but we get some exception because the local environment is not getting propagated. It is a common and frequently done by the developers. They forgot to select the compute mode in the compute node. Because of that they get some issues, but they don't remember that that's the issue. They do a lot of research and finally they identify that hey, this silly mistake I made it, and because of that the file name is not coming out. So how they can identify that? It's very simple. They no need to spend hours to find out that silly mistake. Just give the flow name, click show more info. You are given all the node connections, nodes that you have used, the queues that you have used, user defined properties that you have used, and each node detailed properties as well. Okay, so can you show me how many integration servers I have? Okay, so here you can see, hey, these are all the integration servers you have, and this is a UUID. So sometimes we see that we see only the UUID in the error message. We don't recognize that UUID. What is that actually? So how can I know that, okay, this UUID belongs to this particular integration server? Just come here and see what's the UUID for a particular integration node or execution group, and what's the status of that. So this is the status. What's the debug port number, whether the debug port is active or not, any HTTP port number, HTTPS, what's the maximum size. Okay, this information is not sufficient for me. I need more information. Can you show me? Yes, just click this show more info. You are given with more and more information what is available in the integration server. You see here detailed information, very detailed information is available to you. So you can say that this is the tool which gives you in and out of what is happening and what is available in your integration node. I can say that to search anything, what we use now is we use Google. So to search anything in your integration node, you use IIB Utham, and whatever you get from Google, you get more than what is available in Google. I showing you that we are not only getting the information, we are also getting the information in an excellent graphical user interface with graphs, charts, page numbers, filtering, sorting. All these are available as a simple but powerful solution to you. Okay, so this is listing the directories. Yeah, this is needed when we work with any kind of FTP based message flows. What we do generally is we log to that particular server, and then we issue some commands to navigate a particular folder, or to go to a particular log folder, or to go to a particular where MQSI, where log, any folder we need to navigate. We have two options. One is either you use command console, or you use any kind of application like WinSAP or FileZilla to go to a particular directory and see what are the files available, what are the file permissions, and when was it last modified. Or you see that your message flow is not writing a file into a particular directory. So how will you confirm that? You have to go to that directory and physically see that hey, there is a file. No, there is no file. Yes, there is a file, but that is in some different directory, that is in MQSI transit in directory. Your message flow is not picking a file because insufficient permission. To do all these things, we have to use either application, or we have to use a command console. Every time you need to issue user ID and password. If you forget the password, obviously the account will be locked. You need to trace people to get it unlocked. All these issues are avoided here. Nothing is required. Just come here, click the directory option, which directory you want. You can simply say, hey, this is the directory I want to view. Click submit. You can see everything, what are all the files inside the directory. You see here everything is available immediately to you. So if you want to download the file, as I said, just click the download file option. Immediately the file is available to your local directory. The next greatest feature of IIB Utham is MQ Explorer. We use RFHutil to see whether any message is in a particular queue or not. So you have to download that RFHutil every time. Without that, you cannot do that. Otherwise, you need to purchase any commercial software to view any remote queue messages. And the disadvantage in RFHutil is that we cannot have any consolidated view of all the queues. To achieve that, you need to install the MQ client in your machine. Using that MQ client only, you can see all the queues, queue properties. But IIB Utham is having all the features that you achieve from RFHutil, that you achieve from MQ client. Just click non-system queues to see all the non-system queues that you have, and these are all the queues that are used by your message flows. Like you see in the screen, it tells you how many open input count, output count, current depth, max message length. Have you noticed that the max message length is shown in megabytes? Yes, we want our solution to be very simple but powerful. We don't give you any kind of big numbers which no one can immediately understand that. By giving a number which is already familiar to us, that's the number we use, that's the terminology we use. We don't speak anything which you do not understand. Okay, now you can see what's the put application name as well. You want to see the messages sitting in a particular queue, you can click this display queue, which will show if any messages are there in the queue. You can simply click that display queue option. This is for non-system queues. Can I see my system queues? Yes, just click system queues. Okay, these are all the system queues that you have in your integration node. Also, you can see here the in a depth chart which queue is using how many messages. How many messages are still to be processed. You can see as a donut chart. Also, you can see in a table, okay, these are all the system queues having some messages. And you also see here that if any queue has achieved more than 50% of the depth that you have defined, if any, you will see here, otherwise you will see a greeting message here. So this IIB Utham will show only system and non-system queues? No. It shows the channels as well. If you want to see the channels, just click channels. It shows all the channels that you have in your queue manager. You want to display a particular queue, you can just come here, click display queue. The queue name is auto-populated. Just type the queue name. Immediately you will see if any messages are there or not. The last option that you see here is node difference. When you have multiple integration node, you get this issue that one particular message flow is working fine in one production machine, whereas the same message flow is not working in another production system. How I can identify what's the difference between one production system to another production system, one production system running message flow to another production system running message flow? Is there any way that I can see these are all the differences, these are all the matching information? Is there any way I can see that? Yes, you can see that here. You just need to have your both production systems connection information, just give all those information, click submit. It will immediately show you that these are all the message flows running in production A, these are all the message flows running in production B, and these are all the differences that this particular message flow is running in a different integration server. This particular message flow was deployed in a different date. This particular message flow is not deployed in the another machine. This particular message flow is having a different size. The bar file is different from the another production system bar file. All these information are shown to you. By that way, you can easily identify the differences and you can take the action immediately. Okay, the last option that you see here is contact us. It is common that people work on multiple shifts. So how we communicate to the entire team? We say that, hey, this is the Excel sheet. You can refer to reach out to a particular guy. If that Excel sheet is not handy, if that Excel sheet is not circulated, if the Excel sheet is not updated, what's the option we have? We need to chase multiple people to identify the right guy. To avoid that, we have created an option here that you can have who is working on a particular shift. You can just have it in one XML message file, just place it in your production system. That's a file which has all the roster information, who is working on, from where he works, what's the location, what's the email ID, what's the telephone number to reach he or she. So how we can have that? So we have made it that option also available in IIB Utham Monitoring solution. Just go to contact us, click the support team immediately. You are given with all the details of the production support guys information. You can simply email or call them whenever you have an issue. You no need to chase anyone to identify or to reach out to a particular guy. So now we have seen all the features of IIB Utham. Is there anything that we are missing? Is there anything that you want to add? Yes, we can definitely add it, because this is completely written in IBM integration API. Whatever you see is missing, whatever you see to be added, we can have that. It is completely customizable. We can change anything, we can add anything, whatever you wish. Completely it is customizable. This is a product created based on our past 12 plus years of experience. We know that each project, each account, each client is unique. You may have your own terminology, you may have your own application, you may have your own event names. Whatever be it, let us know what you want to be added. We can have that added. We can make it as you wish. This is the excellent solution. In a minimal cost, you achieve so many things. So far, we spoke the language that you already know. We don't speak anything which you do not understand. We don't ask you anything which you do not already have. No external software, no external database, no external third-party products. We ask you to have it. This is completely written in IBM Integration API, and this works on all the versions like version 8, version 9, version 10 as well. If you have version 10, simple, we just give you the solution. If you have version 8, do we need to do any kind of customization? No, you don't need to do any kind of customization. Just install our product in your integration node. That's it. You are ready with your monitoring solution. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us at www.vythu.com, and the best number to reach out to us is 612-305-8684. Thank you for watching our IIB monitoring solution video. Thank you.